Hey, deserving listeners, it's time to continue our journey watching Married at First Sight. Let's get to the show. My name is Dr. Kirk Honda. I'm a therapist and a professor. Let's see if anything of interest comes out of my face.
My stomach has been like in knots since Zach said I'm a dishonest person.
You haven't been honest with me.
What are you talking about?
Just think about during Panama, after the wedding.
Well, that's not fair because I don't know what you're talking about. Can you tell me, like, factually what I did that impacted our relationship?
It was more details of things you didn't say and you were hiding.
Specifically, what did I hide?
Not going to go there.
No, you need to go there or else you look like a liar. You look like a liar.
Okay, well then I look like a liar. I'm not making it up.
This is bizarre. So just when I thought Zach's confusing communication couldn't get more confusing, he is now saying that she is a liar or something, and then is refusing to bring it up. Now, I guess as I say that, I wonder if he is wanting to protect her because the cameras are rolling, but at the same time, why wouldn't you just tell her off, away from the cameras? I'm really trying to figure out what he knows and why he would say that and not reveal. It's just a weird situation.
You haven't been in touch with, like, my friends or anything like that, right?
Lindsay has reached out to me. It helped kind of hearing things from her because she's just as logical as I am and straightforward as I am.
Okay, so he reached out to one of her friends, or they somehow communicated. Nothing wrong with that. It's a little weird that they would do that without telling Mindy about it. It seems like I don't mind you guys talking, but why didn't you tell me? It's like you're talking behind my back or something. And so apparently Lindsay told him something that is disgraceful that she did. Maybe we'll find out. I guess I'm curious.
Sounds like you've confided in her about a lot of stuff.
I have sought help from her, yes.
Do you think maybe you should tell me that you're having a friendship on the side with one of my friends? You were very, very hard on me about keeping something from you, which I still don't know the extent of what you think I'm keeping from you. Yet you think it's okay to have this friendship with one of my closest friends behind my back. Like, is that okay to you?
As a couple and family therapist, I see this sometimes where essentially the vibe I get is both of them are trying to be logical or intellectual or blocked up or something. And there's a version of couple and family therapy where you're just like, look, go. Like, stop editing yourself. When you edit yourself and you're so careful with your communication, everything just stagnates. Let's get it out in the open. Let's express yourself. Say what's going on. That's what I would try to do with them because I don't see this stifled way of communicating working out very well.
Are you still talking?
I haven't talked to her in days.
I feel like that's deception. I mean...
Well, he does not dwell on these things.
Sorry it's ended up like this.
It's fine.
It's not just fine to me. It's pretty disappointing and upsetting, honestly.
So it makes total sense that she feels betrayed by both him and her friend. It makes sense also, I think, that Zach would want to talk with people who might be able to get some perspective, including her friends. But you don't have to lie about it is the thing, Zach, and you could apologize. One, you could have said, I'd like to talk with your friend Lindsay if you don't mind, because I just want to get some perspective. I think Lindsay has your back, and is it okay if I talk with your friend? Mindy probably would have said yes. Zach, in this moment, could say, I know that it was crappy that I didn't tell you, and it makes total sense that you're hurt. But I guess in the moment, I was just desperate, and I wanted to talk with someone that had some inside knowledge about you because I'm really trying to figure stuff out here. I'm really trying to figure out where our relationship is going, and I was desperate, and I made a wrong choice. But we didn't really talk about anything that was bad. I was just asking about you, and she was kind of validating me, but also kind of helping me to maybe see the good side of you. I wish Zach would just say something along those lines, because I'm guessing that's what's going on. But he's just like, well, I guess you're upset. I don't know what to say. Like, why? Like, why wouldn't you recognize this as an opportunity to apologize?
Wow, he must really think I'm dumb. I don't know. Infuriating. It's just one thing after another. And I'm not satisfied at all with Zach's answers.
Bye, Mindy.
Okay. I'm just left with more questions and frustration knowing that he's called me dishonest, but really who's the dishonest one here?
Yeah, it is bizarre. I mean, as this season progresses, Zach is a very strange individual, at least the behavior he's exhibiting on this show. To accuse Mindy of doing something terrible to him and then to just say, but I'm not going to tell you what that is. I mean, now it's not out of the ordinary for Zach to have behavior that I don't understand and for him to have very obscure communication style.
Hey.
Hey.
What's going on?
Oh my God, this has been like a super up few days. Like we've known each other like for years and stuff like that. And I don't want this to like affect our friendship long term, you know, but like Zach is telling me you guys have been texting and Lindsay, like at the end of the day, the truth is going to come out. And like, as long as you're honest with me, like I can forgive. And that's why I like wanted just to talk to you to just like lay out a couple things.
Yes, please.
Wow, that was 2 thumbs up, Mindy. That was like extremely differentiated intro to this conversation. I don't know if in any reality TV show I've seen such a differentiated opener to a conflict. That was amazing. She's like, look, I value our friendship, but there's an issue here, and if you apologize, I'm willing to accept that. But I got some things to say. So it was just really, really great for her to recognize that, well, I'll give Lindsay the benefit of the doubt. She's a friend of mine, but I have some things to say, and I want her to apologize. So it's just a wonderful opener to the conversation.
Or talk
He
to him.
texted me this morning.
He texted you this morning.
Yes.
And what did he say?
He said something like, hey, happy Friday and good morning or something. I can't remember.
Okay, how many times have you talked over the phone?
I think 2 times, 3 times. Like, it hasn't been very much.
Definitely more than once?
Yeah, it's been more than once.
Okay. And
Because he's called me after things and been like, I need to talk to you about this.
So this is just more bizarre because at first I was thinking, well, Zach was looking for some perspective on Mindy and he struck up a friendship with Mindy's friend, and it's just one of his friends, one of his pals. Now it's starting to look a little bit more romantic, you know, to be texting someone, hey, happy Friday, how you doing? Who knows, but it's a little flirtatious. Certainly the tension music, I think, is trying to point us in that direction. And that's just weird stuff, right? I mean, imagine you're having a conflict with your spouse, and then a friend that you met barely once on one day, you reach out to them and you have a secret relationship with them, even though you're not really apparently talking about anything terrible, you're just wanting to get some perspective on the relationship. I don't know, it just seems... And then maybe that develops into a romantic relationship, even though you haven't seen each other you only saw each other that one time. It's interesting. It just makes me wonder, I would love to know what Zach's previous partners would have to say about this. Would they say something like, oh no, he's a good guy, he's just kind of confused in this relationship. Maybe they would say that. Or would they say, oh no, he is a weird dude. He reached out to my dad and they had to see, you know, who knows, you know, the sky's the limit, I guess, in terms of what the options are. So maybe we'll get some more data here.
I felt like we were building a friendship outside of just about you.
Okay. He said the only thing you guys have really talked about is me and how to navigate this going forward.
I think that's unfair to say all of our conversations have been about you, because that's just not true.
You don't happen to have that still, do you?
I don't know. I deleted it off my phone because, again, like, I'm immature with how I handle that stuff. Let me see if I have it.
It'd be very helpful if you screenshotted that to me.
So now it brings into question his accusation of Mindy that she has done something deceptive, but I'm not going to tell you. And then he reveals something pretty deceptive. Was that his way of trying to throw her off and say, like, well, you've been deceptive with me? Or was it a massive projection? I mean, that's the definition of a projection. A lot of people use that defense mechanism, not in line with the psychoanalytic definition. So projection in the classical Freudian sense is that when we have issues ourselves, when we have feelings ourselves, we will project them onto other people. So you might have a desire to cheat, and you really want to, or maybe you do cheat, but you distort it and you put it into your spouse, and you're like, you're always cheating on me. You always want to cheat on me. And when in fact it's the self that wants to cheat. That's projecting. You don't like the fact that you have this aspect. On one hand you want to be a good person. On the other hand you want to cheat. You don't know what to do with that conflict, and you don't have a way of navigating that. So you got to get rid of one side, and you just project cheating into other people, and then you have this fantasy that you're not the cheater and the other person's the cheater. So maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. Let's continue.
This is like one of my biggest downfalls is if somebody's texting me who I don't want in my life at all, I just remove them from everything so I don't have their number accessible to me.
That makes no sense. People don't delete text chains unless there's something to hide or unless there's something to feel bad about. It's very frustrating. Both of these people, my husband and one of my closest friends, are giving me opposite stories.
Yeah, yikes. So I agree with Mindy that it's not typical that the way you're going to manage, I mean, I guess it makes some sense that Lindsay is saying, she's like, well, I realized that it was a bad idea that I was texting with my very good friend's husband. And so my way of trying to manage that was just to delete everything off my phone. But you would also want to block the phone number, right? Which I don't think she did, because she received a text this morning. So it does raise some questions. At the very least, it's very suspicious. And what this points to is that Lindsay was complicit in the deception, if you will, that Lindsay and Zach both agreed, either, spoken or unspoken, that they were not going to tell Mindy about what was going on between the two of them. At first, I thought Zach was just reaching out for support. Now it's looking like something different, which is just so weird, right? You're on a reality TV show and you're going to flirt. Maybe, I don't know if he was flirting, but it's sort of looking like that, with your wife's best or good friend. Like, it's just a strange turn of events. And then you wonder, well, if that was happening, which we don't really know yet, was he flirting with Lindsay? Is he flirting with a lot of people? What's going on here?
A lie. I'm dealing with two liars here.
I have no interest in talking to him ever again because, again, I am learning about how he manipulates things. I said, I'm not going to talk to you again until filming's over. Like, we're done.
Until filming's over?
I'm going to be very honest with you about that.
Until you're going to be friends after filming's over?
Nope.
So why don't you block his number?
I should. You're 100% right. I can do that right when I get off the phone with you.
Right. So Minnie's like, exasperated right now. It's like, why? So you deleted everything, but you didn't block him. So why didn't you block him? Okay, I'm gonna block. And we agreed. We're not going to talk until filming is over. So that's looking more like Lindsay was starting to feel bad for involving herself in a romantic relationship with her friend's husband. And that she was thinking, again, we don't have confirmation of this, but it's certainly starting to look like that. And Lindsay is thinking, well, once the cameras are gone, then me and Zach can have a thing. It raises some questions like, did Zach like Lindsay all the way back at the wedding? And maybe that's what got in the way of Zach having romantic or sexual feelings for Mindy. I don't know. It's just a lot of speculation. Let's continue watching.
You're right. I have no interest in ever talking to him ever again. I think he's a liar and a sociopath.
I think that it's maybe likely that they both talked about deleting their conversations together. In that conversation, they probably should have gotten more details of their story straight. Yeah, so they messed up there. Somebody's lying.
Ouch. I mean, that has got to hurt to have your husband and your good friend seemingly having a romantic affair right underneath your nose. Just days or weeks after you got married is rough. That is hurtful. It's one thing for her and Zach not to work out because she didn't choose Zach and she barely knows Zach, but it's another thing to have your good friend betray you that way. That's rough. Now, we don't know if it was a romantic flirtation. It certainly sounds like that. Lindsay's admitting, well, yeah, we talked about you, but, there were many times we didn't talk about you. Now, maybe Zach and Lindsay were just platonic friends, and that it never even occurred to the two of them that there was a romantic thing there. That happens sometimes. Doesn't seem likely in this situation, but anyway, let's continue watching.
Know that I'm here for you whenever you're ready.
Okay, Lindsay.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, they both lied to you by omission for sure. I mean, my God. All right, well, that does it for that episode of Psychology in Seattle. Thanks for joining me out there. Please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.